And welcome to Election Night in Saugus. My name's Steve Doherty, your town moderator. I'm here with my good friend, Andrew Whitcomb. And we're going to be bringing you the results tonight as they come in live once the polls close at 8 o'clock. Shortly after that, we have people stationed at each of the precincts that will be taking photographs of the results and texting them over to us so that we can post them here and bring you guys up to date. And hopefully, in short order, we can get all the results in here and we'll figure out who won what.
Right. Now, we have to say at the start of this thing, these are the tentative results. After the end of the night, all of the things go to the clerk's office, they'll get retallied, but we should be able to predict the big races for sure. School committee, selectmen, housing authority. The only thing we might have off is if there's a town meeting race or two that's decided on a couple of votes, that might change tomorrow morning. But everything else should be fine. Steve, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Andrew?
Steve and I are neighbors on Essex Street. And
Yes.
I tell him every 2 years when we do one of these broadcasts, this is our third election night together,
Yep.
that him and I don't see each other enough. But we always come together on election night.
Yeah, we see each other in passing, you know,
Right.
up and down the street.
Up and down the
but
street.
That's about it.
I drop by on Christmas and we watch the parade together.
Yep.
Otherwise, we're both too busy, and of course, I come to the annual town meetings. But there are some great new candidates and some fantastic incumbents, and we're happy you want to share it with us. For those of you that are watching on Saugus Cable, you can also tune in on YouTube tonight. We're live on YouTube. Feel free to share the link with anybody who wants it. Saugus TV YouTube channel, you'll see us right on the top page there. And, let's get to it, Steve.
Yeah. We have several interesting races going on this year. And we'll start with the town meeting. In Precinct 1, we have 8 candidates vying for 5 seats. A couple of newcomers. We've got Ashley Nichols, Jillian Lazaire coming in, and a few that are returning. You know, Sue Palumber and Stacy Herman Durant, who's also running for the Board of Selectmen, by the way. It's going to be an interesting race. In Precinct 2, they're unopposed. We have the same 5 people that are there. We can already tell you the results of Precinct 2.
With the addition of Mr. Joe Malone.
Yeah, town meeting is going to be Joseph Malone, Peter Rossetti Jr., Jeannie Meredith, Robert Camuso Sr., and Matthew Palante.
So congratulations to the 4 of you, and Mr. Malone, welcome to Precinct 2.
Yes. In Precinct 3, we've got 7 candidates vying for the 5 seats. Again, Marissa DeMonte, a new Amanda K. Ostro-Mason. We've got Dan Shenna coming back, Arthur Connors, Rich Thompson, Mark Sacco, and then we add in Leonard Ferrari Jr. Precinct 4, we've got the incumbents Glenn Davis, Maureen Whitcomb, Robert Long, Steve Doherty, and Stephanie Shalkowski, and one newcomer, Joseph DiFilippo, and one not really a newcomer, Bob Northrup, who was on the town meeting previously representing Precinct 4, and he's looking to make a comeback. In Precinct 5, we have Joshua Delham, Pamela Goodwin, Ron Wallace, Brenton Spencer, Jacqueline Hickman, Mark Panetta, Lorianne Fossey, and Carly Brassis vying for those 5 seats.
Carly previously sat for Precinct 5 town meeting.
Yes, she, again, another one trying to make a comeback. In Precinct 6, we have Carla Michella, Jeannie Bartolo, Alan Panico, Alicia Benito, Kevin Curry, Elizabeth Marchese, and Karen Rackenick vying for those 5 seats. In Precinct 7, we have 7 candidates. We have Stephen McCarthy, Sandro Panzini Souza, who again is also running for the Board of Selectmen, Aja Arsenault, John Chaporis, Frank Federico, who is also running for the Board of Selectmen, Mike Paolini, and Philip Gill. Then in Precinct 8, we just have, again, the 5 the 5 candidates for 5 seats. That's Anthony Lepresti, Arthur Grabowski, Darren McCullough, Krista Tallaghan, and William Cross III. And Arthur Grabowski in that group is also running for school committee. So there's a possibility, that's one precinct where we could end up with 4 candidates, depending on how the results pan out. I'm assuming, getting elected to both, that Arthur would choose school committee over town meeting.
Yes.
That would be my guess. In Precinct 9, we have Judy Worthley, John Cottam, Dan Kelly, Jamie Lee Lincoln, who's another new candidate stepping up, Nicole Pazziali, and Katrina Berube. In Precinct 10, Carla Scazzarella, Martin Costello, James Tauza, Darren Ring, Peter Delios, Jenna Rose Nuzzo, another new candidate, and Peter Manugian, senior. Then we flip over to the school committee race, which is interesting this year. We have Tom Wittridge, Stephanie Mastrocola, Joseph Gould, Arthur Grabowski, Brian Doherty, Andrew Finn, Shannon McCarthy, and Robert Bruzese vying for the 5 seats there. Same with the Board of Selectmen. We've got a wide field. We have Jennifer Dion, former selectwoman, coming back, attempting to come back. Jeff Ciccolini, Sandro Panzini Souza, Vincent Serino, Mike Serino, Anthony Cogliano, Deborah Panetta, Stacy Herman Durant, and Frank Federico. And then, of course, for the Housing Authority, John Chaporis, Christy Tallaghan, and Darlene, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Leroux.
I'm going to guess LaRue or LaHaru.
Okay, Leroux. I'll go with that one. And Darlene, if we did butcher that, I apologize. Interesting. We were just talking about the Board of Selectmen race and the fact of the 2 Serinos in there, Vincent and Mike.
Right,
And how
they're
that
next to
plays
each
out.
other on the ballot. Vincent and Mike. Vincent Serino previously served on the school committee.
Yep.
And Mike has served on the selectmen for a while. He was a town meeting member for a while. He's been on a ton of boards. Serino name goes back a long time in town. And funny enough, they're next to each other on the ballot. So how
Yeah.
does that even...
So it's interesting. You wonder if that will help them or hurt them, with people thinking they're voting for one and actually voting for the other, or will people automatically vote for both? Or that'll be interesting to see how that plays out exactly.
Right. Now, before we get too far into this, because, it's a little slow now, obviously, but very fast this show always picks up. Within 20 minutes, we'll be scrambling around. I want to take a minute to thank the folks at SCTV for helping us put it on. This isn't CNN or Fox or MSNBC. We don't have some giant support team and decision desk. It's me and Steve, the SCTV crew, and the guys we've roped in to help us collect numbers live from the polls. So I want to thank all of them for giving us a hand. Once again, this is live, this is right now. So if you see me or Steve get up suddenly to answer the phone, or, we're in the middle of a sentence and we suddenly get distracted, it's because we're answering a text message or trying to make sure we get a number right or something like that, It's just how it goes.
Our goal this evening is to bring you results that are as accurate as we can get them and as quickly as possible. One thing we did do a little differently this year is I have folks lined up at each of the polling places that will be taking pictures of the results when they're posted and texting them to me, so we can take them, plug them into a spreadsheet here, and tally across the precincts and quickly figure out who's leading where and where we stand. Andrew has the same people lined up at each of the precincts, and these people don't know who each other are, so
Right.
We're going to have multiple sets of results coming in to make sure that if somebody's picture is fuzzy or the flash got in the way or something happens, we have a backup. So
Steve
we should
and I
still
are-
be able to do it quickly.
Steve and I are both about to get 40 photos on our phone
Yes.
from 5 different people.
And again, those should start pouring in as quickly as they can post the results, which typically is by 5 or 10 past
5 or 10
8.
past 8.
Yep.
That's always how it goes. I mean, I remember, I believe it was 2 years ago, and this is why we have to double check everything. One of the photos that I was sent from Precinct 5 had a lens flare in it, and a flash, and I didn't notice it, and then neither did the person. And it was just over one number. It looked like somebody put white out over one number.
Yep.
And that number would determine who the chair of the school committee was, or who would be the top vote getter for the school committee. And I remember I got a text from Tommy Wittridge, and it said, Wittridge got 935 votes in Precinct 5, in a precinct where 300 people voted. He was kidding around. But then we have to say, all right, very quickly, and we pointed at somebody in the audience and said, I need you to go to Precinct 5 and get me a better photo. I'm also going to say that to any candidate that wins, any candidate at all, that would like to come down and thank the voters. We have an empty seat next to Steve with a mic on. It's not a campaign stop. but if you want to come down for a few minutes and thank the people and you know, welcome aboard, then we'd love to have you.
Yeah, we would expect to have at least estimates on who's taking. Some of the precincts for town meeting, obviously, will have the final results in, but on the school committee and board of selectmen, we should at least be able to possibly call the race by sometime around 25 past 8, we're hoping that we can get the results in that quickly. And yeah, any candidate who wants to stop down and say a couple of words to the voters, certainly you're welcome to join us at that time, or before, if you'd like to. You know, a couple of little fun facts. Andrew and I were just talking, in case you were wondering some of this stuff, this was stuff I was curious about, like what happens if you have a tie? Because I know I was down talking with the town clerk just before I come up here this evening, and at that time, the total vote count, I believe, townwide, was about I think she said it was 17.8% of our registered voters had voted. So it's not going to be any kind of record turnout for this election. It's very low.
That's lower than usual, but not as low as you'd think.
And what happens with that, though, is in a race with 7 people in it, in a small precinct, you could find that the difference between first place and 7th place is
10 votes.
10 or 12 votes.
That's happened in your precinct, Mr. Moderator.
Exactly.
Cards on the table. It's my mother's precinct as well. That's happened before. You know, there have been races. In fact, little self-admitting here. There was a race a few years ago where I ran for town meeting and I lost by a singular vote. But I was afraid to contest it because my mother was 3 slots ahead of me on the board, but it was only by 6 votes. So I'm like, if I pick up 7 votes, somebody's in trouble, you know?
And that's why when we're looking at these numbers that get texted into us, you know, when you're looking at something and saying, geez, is that a 3 or an 8? Makes a huge difference, you know, in
those tight races.
Presidential race, obviously, you know, that's not going to matter. But when the races are as narrow as they are, and every vote does count, it's all the more important that we get the numbers as accurate as possible. But anyway, we were talking about it, and we asked, well, what happens if there is a tie? Obviously, if there's the top 5 vote getters get in, so if there's a tie for first place or third or fourth place, it doesn't make a difference. Both parties will be on town meeting. But if there's a tie for that 5th place spot, then what happens? How do you break that tie? Is there a special election, or how do they do it? And what we found out was no. What they do is the remaining, or the other 4 candidates who were elected
from that precinct
will sit down and hold a caucus. And between them, they will vote to decide which of those tied candidates will fill the 5th seat.
Now, the same thing happens if, now, say, for example, in one of the precincts, there are 6 people running and 5 people get elected. If one of those 5 people ends up moving or passing away or something, then the 6th person automatically gets the seat.
Yes.
But if there is no 6th person, they have a caucus meeting just like that, and the other four people get to nominate somebody in the precinct, or they get to sort of deliberate and decide on their own. I don't think that's ever happened, at least in a while.
No, actually, the last time I remember it happening, that was how Bill Lucci.
Is that right?
Yes, when his wife
passed away, that was our precinct.
There was a vacancy midterm, and Bill had expressed an interest in filling that seat, and there was no 6th candidate. There was no person who had just missed out on that prior election. And we held a caucus and elected Bill. And then he got reelected on his own standing after that.
A couple of times, actually.
Yes. So yeah, that's how that's handled anyway.
Now, it is 8 p.m. exactly, so for those of you just tuning in, I want to welcome you all to Election Night 2025 for the town of Saugus. My name is Andrew Whitcomb. Joining me, of course, as always, my good friend, the town moderator and candidate for town meeting precinct 4, my friend Stephen Doherty. Thank you for spending election night with us. We're just chatting right now, but within a few minutes, the polls will be closing right now at 8 o'clock. Within the next 5, 10, 15 minutes, they should be we have people outside every polling place, should be reporting the numbers to us. They post the results on the door. One of the people I was chatting with today said, I have to go get results. What does that mean? I said, it looks like a giant CVS receipt.
Yes.
And we need a couple of clear photos, send them my way, we'll read them out. Now, after tonight's results, the town clerk will double check everything because ours are tentative. And then her results, and her official results, I should say, will be posted in front of Town Hall and should be on the website very soon. Our results aren't going to differ much from hers, except for maybe where there's a very close town meeting race, but we will definitely know school committee, Board of Selectmen, and Housing Authority, and most of town meeting by the end of tonight. You ready, Steve?
Yes, but again, important to note that those are the official results down in the town clerk's office. Yeah, what's going to happen, and we're not being rude, in a few moments, you're going to see us, our phones will start dinging, and we're going to be checking our text messages here, because that's how we have all of this information coming into us, so that we can update our spreadsheet here and make the determination. As each precinct comes in, we can very quickly read off the total votes for the town meeting members and determine who the top 5 are, assuming there's no ties, and then we'll have those announcements kind of right off the bat. It's a little more complicated with the school committee, Board of Selectmen, and Housing Authority,
Right.
because we'll be plugging those into a spreadsheet and then counting the total as we go along throughout the next 20 minutes or so as the various precincts come in to see, who adds up to the top vote getter.
And once again, it's just Steve and I. We're just doing this for fun. We're live on television right now, but this is all done sort of on the fly. So if it looks like it's not put together, it's the best we can do.
That's
It's
correct.
It's like it's just how it has to be. If you want the results as quick as possible, you have to get them from the precinct as they get taped to the door and sent directly to us. So if I get up and answer the phone, or if Steve disappears mid-sentence because he's verifying that somebody sent photos that are clear, it's just how it goes.
And it's all for your benefit, again, so we can get you the answers and the results as accurate and as quickly as we possibly can. Another thing we were just talking about is the tradition, and that's what it is a tradition. Because I heard somebody saying this the other day where, so-and-so, if they're the top vote getter on the Board of Selectmen or on the school committee, then they get to be the chairman. And historically, that's correct. The top vote getter is typically the Board of Selectmen. While the way it's in our charter, it doesn't state that, and what's supposed to happen is they're supposed to meet and elect a elect a chairperson, and the same thing with the school committee. What they've done traditionally is said, we're going to let the people make that selection by whoever they gave the most votes to, whoever the top vote
Right.
getter was in that race.
It's like a common courtesy, like a nod.
That person will be the chairperson, and then whoever got the second greatest number of votes would be the vice chair. But just so you're aware, there's nothing written that says
Right.
that's how it has to be. That's just a tradition and the way they've always done it. Not to say they have to continue to.
Technically, if one person got, the highest amount of votes, and the other 4 people could get together and decide they don't want that person to be chairman, and they could change they could vote for somebody else. And that exact situation hasn't happened for a while, but
No.
if at all. But there have been cases in the past where a newcomer runs for school committee, ends up topping the ticket. Maybe they don't have, I'm not going to say confidence, but experience. They don't want to uproot the whole board, so they'll be vice chairman, and they'll let the former chairman or the incumbent chairman keep the title because it makes the meetings run smoother. You don't have to get the former chairman doesn't have to get acclimated.
Yeah.
That's happened in the past.
Again, just so the residents understand that, that's not that's the difference really between a rule and a tradition. It's not something that's required or carved in stone. It's just something they've typically done year to year, or election to election, I should say.
Right, and I'll throw this out again because I know some of you are just tuning in. Any resident is welcome to come. There's plenty of seats in front of us. Welcome to come and watch it live in person at Town Hall. Any candidates that win tonight that want to come down and thank the voters, it's not a campaign stop, but we'd love to have you for a couple of minutes sitting next to Steve. With that said, there are going to be winners today and there are going to be losers, and as we like to say, anybody that loses, take a look on the town website for the other available seats. Just based on some of the candidates here, there could be availabilities on the FinCom, on planning, or some of the other boards. I know there's availability right now on the cable board. If you want to get involved in Saugus and you didn't win your town meeting race or you didn't win your selectman race, take a look. We want you to stay involved. We want you to keep working if that's what you want to do.
The reality is everyone whose name is on this sheet in front of me here this evening is a winner. The fact that you stepped up, the fact that you put yourself out there and committed yourself to running a campaign and to putting yourself in front of the voters and to taking a stand and trying to make your community better, you're a winner. So there technically are no losers tonight, but there are going to be people who will have a seat at the table at the end of the night, and there will be others who we hope will come back and try again in 2 years. But that said, yeah, we have, just for town meeting, I know we have 50 seats available on town meeting. There's 5 for each of the 10 precincts, and we have 67 candidates. So that means that 17 people won't be popping champagne tonight. But again, the fact that you stepped up, the fact that you put yourself out there, you are a winner. And we thank you for that. And same with the school committee and the Board of Selectmen.
Right. With that,
if you don't make it in, you're, thank you again for running.
With that said, we've got our first batch results. I'd like to give a shout out to newcomer Phil Gill for sending me the results from the Knights of Columbus Precinct 7.
Yep.
Steve, I'm going to read them off if you would mind entering them.
Go.
We'll start with the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah.
Jennifer Dion, 121 votes. Jeffrey Ciccolini, 206 votes. Sandro Souza, 81 votes. Vincent Serino, 112 votes. Michael Serino, 132 votes. Anthony Cogliano, 208 votes. Deborah Panetta, 204 votes. Stacy Durant, 113 votes. Frank Federico, 223 votes.
Okay, I'm sorry. One more time with Anthony Cogliano, 208.
Anthony Cogliano, 208.
All right. So thus far, and this is by no means calling a race, but
Right.
in Precinct 7, it looks like Frank Federico topped the ticket with 223 votes, followed by Anthony, then Jeff Ciccolini, then Deb Panetta, and after that,
Ready for the school committee?
we go down Mike Serino. Yes, go ahead.
Thomas Wittridge, 195 votes.
Yep.
Stephanie Mastrocola, 204 votes. These didn't come through. These didn't come through as clearly as I'd like them. Crap.
You know what?
Do you have 7?
I do have 7 here, so give me a second. I can. Oh, that's town meeting. Hold on. Oh, shoot. All right. What did you say you had up top? 204. Then it looks like we have Joseph Gould with 94. Arthur Grabowski with 98. Brian Doherty, 153.
Yep.
Andrew Finn,
Is that a
66. Shannon McCarthy, 165, I believe.
Yep.
And Rob Brazisi has 105. All right.
Okay. You want to go down to
Let's go
town
to
meeting?
town meeting. One sec. For Precinct 7.
You go.
You got it? All right. Philip Gill, 226 votes. Michael John Paolini, 154 votes. Frank Federico, 215 votes. John Chaporis, 130 votes. Anne Marie Arsenault, 110. Sandro Panzini Souza, 103. And Stephen McCarthy, 158 votes.
Housing Authority for Precinct 7?
For Precinct 7, go ahead.
John Chaporis, 162.
Yeah,
Chrissy Taligan, 91.
91,
And Darlene, 48.
48 votes. 162, 91, 48. That's correct. I get the same.
Okay.
All right. you can look and see what came in next here, but
Yep.
going back, looking at precinct 7 from these results, it looks like our town meeting members are going to be Philip Gill, Frank Federico, assuming Frank misses out on his
Board of Selectmen
Board of
race.
Selectmen seat. He looks fairly secure in town meeting. Who else? Stephen McCarthy, Michael Paolini, and then John Chaporis. And in the event that Frank Federico does fare well with the Board of Selectmen, the next in line there would be Aja Arsenal with 110 votes.
All right.
All right,
Do you
what else
want
we
to
got
move
coming in?
to, I've got, I believe this is from Rob Camuso, Precinct 2,
Okay?
over at the vet school, and I might have 6 from Rob as well.
What do we got?
For the Board of Selectmen, Jennifer Dion, 147 votes.
Yep,
Jeff Ciccolini, 184 votes.
okay,
Sandro Souza, 96 votes.
yep,
Vincent Serino, 121 votes.
yep,
Michael Serino, 147 votes.
okay,
Anthony Cogliano, 183 votes.
yep,
Deborah Panetta, 192 votes.
okay,
Stacy Durant, 127 votes.
yep,
Frank Federico, 175 votes.
okay. What about
School Committee, Precinct 5, I believe this is, oh, sorry, Precinct 2.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 candidates.
Yep,
Thomas Wittridge, 218 votes.
okay,
Stephanie Mastrocola, 201 votes.
yep,
Joseph Gould, 114 votes.
okay,
Arthur Grabowski, 91 votes.
yep,
Brian Doherty, 168 votes.
okay,
Andrew Finn, 71 votes.
yep,
Shannon McCarthy, 161 votes.
okay.
Roberto Brazzi, 80 votes.
All right, and let me get over to town meeting. This is, again, one where all 5 of these town meeting members will be joining us on town meeting, because there's only 5 seats.
I do not have town meeting for Precinct 2 yet.
All right. Sorry, we can come back to it.
Yep.
All right, I've got some results here from precinct 10. Let me post these. We have first for the Board of Selectmen, Jennifer Dion, 137 votes. Jeff Ciccolini, 223 votes. Sandro Souza, 67 votes. Vincent Serino, 151 votes. Michael Serino, 208 votes. Anthony Cogliano, 233 votes. Deborah Panetta, 219 votes. Stacy Herman Durant, 141 votes. And Frank Federico, 148 votes. And on school committee, for precinct 10, we've got Tom Wittridge with 244 votes. Stephanie Mastrocola, 179. Joseph Gould, 159. And I got to jump to the next picture here, hold on. Arthur Grabowski, 108. Brian Doherty, 169 votes. Andrew Finn, 61. Shannon McCarthy, 138 votes. And Roberto Brazzi, 78 votes. Oh. Okay, and then, let's see, do we have housing? Oh, no. We'll go town meeting members. For precinct 10, we have Carla Scazzarella, 228 votes. Martin Costello, 140 votes. James Toza, 102 votes. Darren Ring, 136 votes. And hold on.
Peter Delios, 158 votes.
Yep,
Jenna Nuzzo, 231 votes. Peter Manugian, 212 votes. Do you need anything else from 10?
no.
Selectmen's in, Housing
So I just
Authority's
need-
in?
10, I do need the...
Housing Authority.
Housing Authority, and I got it here. George Chaporis, 124 votes.
Christy Taligan, 125 votes.
Yep,
Darlene, 55 votes.
55 votes. All right. And looking here, our newcomer, Jenna Rose Nuzzo. first time running and topping the ticket, it looks like, in Precinct 10 with 231 votes for town meeting. Congratulations, Jenna. All right, what do we have next, Andrew?
Let's see, why don't we go over to, have we done precinct 2?
Yeah, I've got some here.
I got,
Oh, let's do Precinct 4.
oh, you got 4?
Yeah. All right, Precinct 4, we have, we'll start with town
Town
meeting,
meeting.
because that's what I've got on top here. Hold on.
Now, look very closely, viewers. You might witness Steve lose his seat or my mother lose hers.
We have Glenn Davis with 127 votes, Maureen Whitcomb with 120 votes, Robert Long with 116 votes, Robert Northrup with 77 votes, Steve Doherty with 127 votes. I got to say, for anybody who's been watching this,
Right.
this is 3 election cycles in a row that Glenn Davis and I have tied. With our vote total. I don't know why that is, but that's coincidental. 3 times, 6 years now. We have Stephanie Shalkowski with 121 votes. Oh, I'm sorry, Joseph DiFilippo first with 118 votes. Stephanie Shalkowski with 121 votes. So
Does that mean that,
hold on. Yeah, it looks like we've got myself
Just-
and Glenn Davis at the top of the ticket, then Stephanie Shalkowski, then Maureen Whitcomb, and Joseph DiFilippo, which would mean the 2 candidates who didn't make it in Precinct 4 were Robert Northrup and Robert Long, from the looks of it. Let's see here. I'm going to go Precinct. Oh, we already got that. Okay, we already have Housing Authority. Let's go Precinct 4 School Committee. We have Thomas Wittridge with 156 votes, Stephanie Mastrocola, 161, Joseph Gould with 79. Hold on, I messed up on my spreadsheet here. One sec. 156, 161, 79. Then we have Arthur Grabowski with 54 votes, Brian Doherty with 120 votes, Andrew Finn with 62 votes, Shannon McCarthy with 110, and Robert Bruzzese with 77 votes. And then Precinct 4, moving down to the Board of Selectmen. I gotta find the picture on that one, hold on, here we go. We have Jennifer Dion with 88 votes, Jeff Ciccolini with 126 votes, Sandro Panzini Souza, 58, Vincent Serino with 72, Michael Serino with 124 votes, Anthony Cogliano with 128 votes, Deborah Panetta, 171 votes, Stacy Marie Herman Durant, 100 votes, and Frank Federico, 123 votes.
all right. Are we ready for the Precinct 3 Board of Selectmen race?
Precinct 3, go ahead.
All righty. Jennifer Dion, 158 votes.
Yep,
Jeff Ciccolini, 235 votes. Sandro Souza, 110 votes.
yep,
Vincent Serino, 160 votes. Michael Serino, 172 votes.
yep,
Anthony Cogliano, 205 votes. Deborah Panetta, 230 votes.
yep.
Stacy Durant, 160 votes. Frank
Yep.
Federico, 209 votes.
Okay. Let me just look quick here. I got,
Now, I will read I have school committee for, yeah, we'll move over to Precinct 3 Town Meeting.
oh yeah. Precinct 3 Town Meeting. Okay.
I've got them here. I can read them off for you, Steve.
Yep, go ahead.
Daniel Shenna, wait a minute. Arthur Connors, 180 votes.
Hang on one second. I just got to move my spreadsheet here a little so they can see the results. Hold on.
Right, Steve's screen is being simulcast to
All right, go ahead.
the viewers right now.
At the corners.
180 votes.
Yeah,
Daniel Shenna, 183 votes.
Yep.
Richard Thompson, 126 votes.
Yep.
Amanda Mason, 179 votes.
Yep.
Mark Sacco, 142 votes.
Yep.
Leonard Ferrari, 210 votes.
Yep.
Marissa DeMonte, 176 votes.
Okay. What else do we have, precinct 3?
I believe, I can't, sometimes these pictures send out of order, which makes this very challenging. I've got precinct 5 town meeting for sure.
All right, give me a sec. Let me flip over here. Go for it.
Joshua Dellum, 148 votes.
Yep.
Pam Goodwin, 246 votes. Ron Wallace, 184 votes.
Yep.
Brenton Spencer, 166 votes. Jacqueline Hickman, 207 votes. Mark Panetta, 191 votes. Lori Ann Fossey, 186 votes. Carly Brazis, 182 votes.
Close race.
That's a very close race. I would see a recount there.
So it looks like Pam Goodwin with 246 on top, then Jacqueline Hickman with 207. Then right behind her with 191, we have Mark Panetta, 186 for Laurie Ann Fossey, and 184 for Ron Wallace. But then again, you've got 182. It's a very close race right down the line there. So again, watch for your official results from the town clerk either later this evening or tomorrow morning.
Right. This is where you're afraid it could go up or down by a couple of votes.
So precinct 5, do you have more there? School committee?
Precinct 5, school committee. Let's see, that's 3. I have results from school committee, and when the same person sends you results from 2 and they send out of order,
Yeah.
sometimes you don't know which one is which.
Here, I've got actually precinct 5.
I've got precinct 5 school
I
committee.
got precinct 5 Board of Selectmen. Let me plug these in quick.
Okay.
We have Jennifer Dion with 161 votes. Jeff Ciccolini, 256. Sandro Pansini Souza, 100. Vince Serino, 155. Michael Serino, 143 votes. Anthony Cogliano, 256. Deborah Panetta, 255. Stacy Durant, 172. And Frank Federico, 245 votes.
All right, I have
You have
the
school committee?
precinct 5 school committee.
Yep.
Thomas Wittridge, 276 votes. Stephanie
Oh, wait a minute. All right. Go ahead.
Stephanie Mastrocola, 242.
Yep.
Joseph Gould, 139. Arthur Grabowski, 120. Brian Doherty, 218. Andrew Finn, 95. Shannon McCarthy, 225. Roberto Brazzi, 112.
Hang on one second. I think I could have misspoke here.
It's possible I just read the results from 3, because they did come from the same person.
Precinct 3. No, okay. I want to make sure I'm giving the right information.
I think they're in order. That should be 5. It's possible that's 3.
Okay, so this would be Precinct 3 Housing Authority. It looks like we've got
I want to make sure I'm looking at the
John
same.
Chaporis, 142 votes.
Christy Taligan, 116.
Yes. And 68.
For Darlene.
Yes. All right. So right now, still plenty of results to come. We're less than halfway there, or actually about halfway there. Right now, leading for the school committee with 1,089 votes, Tom Wittridge. Behind him, 828 for Brian Doherty, 799 for Shannon McCarthy. 987 for Stephanie Mastrocola. Then Brian Doherty with 828, 799 for Shannon McCarthy. And that field will be rounded out with 585 votes for Joseph Gould.
All right.
But again, that's with only half the results in at this point.
I do have the school committee results from precinct 5.
Already got those.
I'm sorry,
276. Oh,
precinct 3, my mistake.
that's okay. Go ahead.
Same person, same precinct, same polling place. Thomas Wittridge, 255.
Yeah,
Stephanie Mastrocola, 214.
yeah,
Joseph Gould, 161.
yeah,
Arthur Grabowski, 101.
yeah,
Brian Doherty, 187. Andrew Finn, 88. Shannon McCarthy, 194.
Yep.
Roberto Brazzi, 109.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay, this is,
I've got Precinct 1 town meeting. You want to move over to 1?
yeah, let me jump over. Go for it.
Assunta Palumba, 202 votes.
Yep,
Stacy Durant, 227 votes.
okay.
John O'Brien, 182. Thomas Travers, 137. Ashley Nichols, 224. Jillian LaRusi, 153.
153?
53.
Okay.
Mark Bell, 248. Susan Dunn, 193.
All right. So again there, topping the ticket, it looks like Mark Bell with 248, followed by Stacy Herman Durant with 227. The newcomer Ashley Nichols up there with 224. And then 202 for Sue Palumba, and 193 for Susan Dunn to round out that field. So that means it looks like Jillian, Tom Travers, and John O'Brien didn't make the cut out of those 8. All right. What else? 3, let's see, 3, we got, let me just reply here.
And you got to sit and wait for the 40 photos to load.
Yeah,
This is where it screws with us is if they send out of order and it's a polling place that has 2 precincts, then sometimes you don't know what you're looking at.
3 and 5, and I think we've got all of those. No, you know what I don't have is, I'm looking for precinct 5.
I've got precinct 9 here.
I'm looking for precinct 5 housing authority. Or is this it? Hold on. Come on. Yeah, I think this is it. Okay, so precinct 5, we've got John Chaporis with 172, Taligan with 122, and LaRoe with 71 votes. Let me move this over so we can see the totals again. All right. Let's see. At the, do we have precinct 6 and 2? No, 6 I've got here somewhere. Hold on. Let me find them. Yep. All right. So precinct 6. We'll start with the Board of Selectmen. I have Jennifer Dion for 151 votes. Jeff Ciccolini, 208. Sandro Souza, 98. Vin Serino, 110. Michael Serino, 148. Anthony Cogliano, 212. Deborah Panetta, 214. Stacy Durant, 141. And Frank Federico, 192. Then for school committee in precinct 6, we have Tom Wittridge with 223 votes, Stephanie Mastrocola, 202, Joseph Gould, 138. We have Arthur Grabowski with 97 votes, Brian Doherty with 188, Andrew Finn with 85, Shannon McCarthy, 161, and Roberto Brazzi with 84. So again, now we just got 3 precincts left to go here. Let's do town meeting for precinct 6. And that looks like Carla Michello, 178 votes, Jeannie Bartolo, 185, Alan Panico, 126, Alicia Benito, 142, Kevin Curry, 118 votes, Elizabeth Marchese, 254, And Karen Rackinick, 122 votes. So what are we missing here? I'm missing, looks like 1, 8, and 9 at this point.
1, 8, and 9. All righty.
Let's see, make sure. No, I'm also missing, I've got 1. I'm missing precinct 2 on the town meeting side for some reason.
Let me find
All right.
precinct 2 town meeting. I've
Yeah,
got them right
Before
here.
you do that, precinct 6, just quickly, so I can wrap this one up. Housing Authority, we have John Chaporis, 132 votes, 112 for Christy Taligan, and Darlene has 63 votes in precinct 6. Go ahead, you said precinct 2 town meeting?
Precinct 2 town meeting.
Yep,
Joe's, actually, precinct 2 town meeting, there are 5 candidates and five spots, so they're
Right.
all winning, but I am going to read off the numbers. Joe Malone, 160 votes.
yep,
Peter Rossetti, 201 votes.
yep,
Jeannie Meredith, 194 votes.
yep,
Robert Camuso, 193 votes.
okay,
Matt Parlante, 169 votes.
okay,
What else do we need? Housing Authority from Precinct 2.
yes,
I can read that off right now. John Chaporis, 113 votes. Christy Taligan, 113 votes. Darlene, 71 votes.
all right, I'm gonna move over here so we can see that.
Yep, because they're looking at your
Totals
screen, they're not
again.
looking at mine.
Yep, all right, so that's, what do we need here? 1, 8, and 9, which is, 8 is Belmonte, so I should have that one right here, hold on.
I only have 4 from Belmonte.
All right, I got precinct 1 right here.
Excellent.
We have, and we'll start with the Board of Selectmen. We have Jennifer Dion, 164 votes.
Jeff Ciccolini,
236.
Sandro Souza, 92.
Yep,
Vincent Sereno, 148.
correct.
Michael Sereno, 174.
Yep,
Anthony Cogliano, 245.
yep,
Deborah Panetta, 253.
right,
Stacy Durant, 202.
yep,
Frank Federico, 234.
that's correct. Then moving down, Housing Authority, we have John Chaporis, 168 votes, Christy Taligan, 107, and Darlene, 87. Let's see. Town meeting, we already did precinct 1, correct?
I believe
Yeah.
the only precinct we're missing for town meeting is 9. I will have that shortly. Why don't you
1,
move
2,
on
3,
to
4, 5, 6, 7. We're missing 8 and 9, actually.
8 and 9?
Yeah. Just see, yeah, I'm missing 8 and 9 on everything. In precinct 1, school committee, which I've got right here, Tom Wittridge, 257 votes. Then we have, 1 second, sorry. Stephanie Mastrocola, 240. Joseph Gould, 182. Arthur Grabowski, 114. Brian Doherty, 261. Andrew Finn, 87 votes. Shannon McCarthy, 204 votes. And Roberto Brazzi, 111 votes. All right, so let's see, 8 and 9. I'm looking at who I have where here.
I didn't get the results from 8.
Let's see. We have precinct 9 right here.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you to Mr. Joe Durant for bringing those to us directly.
Yep, so we've got Board of Selectmen. We'll start there for precinct
Precinct 9.
9. 100, with Jennifer Dion, 116 votes. Jeff Ciccolini, 153 votes. Sandro Souza with 79 votes. Vincent Sereno, 118 votes. Michael Sereno, 130 votes. Anthony Cogliano, 190 votes. Deborah Panetta, 176 votes. Stacy Durant, 107 votes. And Frank Federico, 181 votes. Oops, sorry. Let's see. For school committee, Precinct 9, we have Tom Wittridge with 165 votes. Stephanie Mastrocola, 170 votes. Joseph Gould, 107 votes. Arthur Grabowski, 71. Brian Doherty, 140. Andrew Finn, 64. Shannon McCarthy, 121. And Roberto Bruzzese, 117 votes. And our Housing Authority for Precinct 9, it looks like John Chaporis, 123 votes. Taligan, 92. And LaRoe, 38. And then we move over to town meeting for Precinct 9. Hold on. Yep. Shoot. Oh, do I have town meeting here? Wait a minute. Town meeting is Judy Worthley, 162 votes. John Cottam, 104 votes. They're split in two pictures here, so give me a second. Dan Kelly, 158 votes. Jamie Lincoln, 140 votes. Nicole Paziali, 212 votes. And Katrina Berube, 137 votes. And that rounds out Precinct 9. So in Precinct 9, it looks like we're looking at Nicole Paziali topping the ticket, followed by followed by Judy Worthley in second place with 162 votes, Dan Kelly with 158, and then Jamie Lincoln with 140, and Katrina Berube with 137. All right, thank you, sir. So the only one I'm missing right now, Andrew, is Precinct 8. And then we can do some tallies here. Let me just find this.
Got it
You
covered.
got it?
I had, well, in a minute, we had a
What? Nope, we're good.
a runner on standby. I'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Rich Thompson for camping out at the senior center for me so he could bolt wherever I needed him to go. And as soon as he arrives at Belmonte, he'll be right along.
Hold on. Precinct 4. Yeah, I did have someone there, but they sent me the Precinct 4.
Same
Didn't
thing
get the
happened to me.
Precinct 8. All right.
If anybody knows Rich Thompson,
So
please
I'll-
text him and let him know the entire night is dependent on him.
Right now, let's give the rundown again on the town meeting finishes. In Precinct 1, again, unofficial results. Precinct 1 for town meeting, it looks like we have Mark Bell topping the ticket with 248 votes. Then we have Stacy Herman Durant with 227, followed by Ashley Nichols with 224 votes. Then Assunta Palumba with 202 votes, and Susan Dunn with 193 votes. In Precinct 2, everybody's a winner. There are only 5 candidates, but the order of finish looks like Peter Rossetti Jr. on top of the ticket, followed by Jeannie Meredith, Robert Camuso Sr., and then Matthew Palante and Joseph Malone. In Precinct 3, the top of the ticket is Leonard Ferrari Jr. with 210 votes. Right behind him with 183 votes, we have Dan Schenna. Then Arthur Connors with 180, Amanda K. Ostro-Mason with 179, and Marissa DeMonte with 176, rounding out the Precinct 3 seats.
Now, if the moderator would indulge me, I'll announce the Precinct 4 votes myself.
Go right ahead, sir.
All right, topping out the ticket at Precinct 4 with wow, you guys actually tied for first.
Again.
With a first place tie, my friend, Mr. Doherty, congratulations, and Mr. Glenn Davis, our good friend, with 127 votes, followed very closely by Stephanie Shelkowski with 121 votes, followed by the illustrious Maureen Whitcomb with 120 votes. Congratulations, Ma. Followed very closely by Mr. Joe DiFilippo, a newcomer to the precinct, campaigned very hard in our area, Steve, with 118 votes, though it is worth noting that that does unseat by 2 votes. So this is where we may see some contention tomorrow. Mr. Rob Long.
Yes, our longtime moderator, and actually recent addition from this last census to Precinct 4, because his neighborhood was previously
he was
Precinct
formerly
9. Yep.
Well, I'm sure Bob will be fine. He also, I believe, sits on, is it appeals? He sits on at least another board.
Yeah, he keeps himself very busy in town.
All right, I'd like to shift over to the main races. We'll go back to town meeting in a second, but Mr. Rich Thompson delivers for me as usual.
So on Precinct 8,
In
what do we have?
Precinct 8, we'll start with the Board of Selectmen.
Yes.
Hang on a second. Jennifer Elaine Dion, 148 votes. Jeffrey Ciccolini, 209. Sandro Souza, 77. Vincent Serino, 166. Michael Serino, 168. Anthony Cogliano, 240. Deborah Panetta, 241. Stacy Durant, 160. Frank Federico, 186.
All right, so before you go beyond that, just looking at our spreadsheet here, again, these are all 10 precincts now accounted for, unofficial results, but what I'm looking at here is at the top of the ticket, Jeff Ciccolini with 2,000, no, I'm sorry, cancel.
Deborah Panetta topping the ticket.
Deborah Panetta with 2,155, followed by Anthony Cogliano with 2,100. Then in third, Jeff Ciccolini with 2,036. Followed by Frank Federico with 1,916. And finally, followed by Mike Serino with...
Wait a minute. Is it Mike or it's Mike?
Mike Serino with 1,546.
All right. Do we want to move up to...
Right.
So
And
we'll talk about that in a second.
yeah,
Do we want to
school
move up
committee.
to the school committee
Let's
for
get these
Precinct
in
8?
and wrapped up.
Thomas Wittridge, 230 votes. Stephanie Mastrocola, 243. Joseph Gould, 175. Arthur Grabowski, 105. Brian Doherty, 195. Andrew Finn, 81 votes. Shannon McCarthy, 175. Roberto Brazzi, 77 votes.
All right, so with that, again, unofficially, it looks like the top of the ticket for our school committee is Tom Wittridge with 2,219 votes, followed by Stephanie Mastrocola with 2,056. The third member being Brian Doherty with 1,799, and then Shannon McCarthy with 1,654. And rounding out the field there would be Joseph Gould with 1,348 votes.
All right, let's move down to the last townwide race, Housing Authority for
Yes.
Precinct 8. Got it right here. John Chaporis, 137 votes.
Yep.
Christy Taligan, 112. And Darlene, 107. Of course, there is only one candidate for the Housing Authority, one seat up this year. And it looks like it's going to go to Mr. John Chaporis.
With 1,366 votes townwide.
All right. Now,
If you want to move over, where do we leave off? We left off, we got Precinct 4 covered.
I'll tell you what, Steve, why don't you read off some of the other town meeting precincts?
Yep.
And I will be back in 1 second.
All right. On Precinct 5, again, it looks like we topped the ticket with 246 votes for Pam Goodwin, followed by 207 votes for Jacqueline Hickman. Behind her, we have 191 votes for Mark Panetta, 186 votes for Laurie Ann Fossey, and 184 votes for Ron Wallace, filling out those 5 seats. And again, as narrow margins we have here, because right behind Ronald at 182 votes is Carly Brazos. In Precinct 6, topping the ticket is Elizabeth Marchese with 254 votes. Then we have Jeannie Bartolo with 185, Carla Maschella with 178. Right below her is Elisa Bonito with 142 votes, and then Alan Panico with 126. Jumping over to Precinct 7. We've got, topping the ticket, Philip Gill with 226 votes, Frank Federico with 215 votes, but I'm assuming he's going to pass on that and opt to take his seat on the Board of Selectmen. So we would then jump down to 158 votes for Stephen McCarthy, 154 votes for Michael Paolini, 130 votes for John Chaporis, and 110 votes for Aja Arsenault. And then in Precinct 8, I'm just waiting on the results here from Andrew. Precinct 9, we've got Nicole Paziali with 212 votes at the top of the ticket. Then we have 162 votes for Judy Worthley, 158 votes for Dan Kelly, 140 votes for Jamie Lincoln, and 137 votes for Katrina Berube. In Precinct 10, top of the ticket looks like Jenna Rose Nuzzo with 231 votes, followed by Carla Scazzarella with 228, Peter Manugian with 212, then 158 for Peter Delios, and 140 for Martin Costello. Rounding out those 5. Do you have the Precinct 8 town meeting results there?
Precinct 8 town meeting, yes,
Last
I
one we just
believe
got
I
it.
do. Is that the last one?
Yep.
Let me make sure this is town meeting. Yep. Anthony Lepresti, 260 votes. Arthur Grabowski, 178 votes. Darren McCullough, 235 votes. Christy Tallaghan, 218 votes. William Cross, 245 votes.
And again, all 5 of those candidates are considered duly elected because, while one was running for a school committee seat, they were unsuccessful in attaining that. So they'll all be back joining us on town meeting.
Now, I am going to go through and very quickly bold the other winning races. I believe that's it, Mr. Moderator. Would you like to give us maybe a little commentary on what we think happened tonight?
It's interesting, there was a...
And I should preface this by saying Steve and I, we know who we voted for, we know why we voted for them, but we don't give away who we voted for, with the exception of me saying I voted for my mother. And I will say in this case, I did vote for your son for school committee, and I want to wish you a congratulations.
I did vote for my son also for school committee.
Might be the highlight
but,
of tonight's show is I get to sit next to Steve while his son gets elected to the school committee.
Yeah, he did well. He came up, 3rd in the vote total.
Congratulations,
so that's
Mr.
a very
Moderator,
good showing
and
for a first time
congratulations,
out.
Brian.
Yep.
And to my mother, of course.
A lot of newcomers this year.
That's right.
And there was kind of a sense that, and this is a referendum for those of us returning to town meeting, some who may have been around for quite a while. There was a real sense out there this year that it was time for a change, that some things needed to be different, and that's why you had a lot of these people in their 30s stepping up and running for office. Well, some of them were successful and will be joining town meeting. Some of them weren't. But the point is that it's a referendum. It's telling us that change needs to happen, and that newer, younger viewpoint needs to be factored into the decisions we're making on town meetings.
Right.
So hopefully we can all use that going forward. And for the people who didn't get elected this cycle, I certainly hope, whether you got unseated or whether it was your first time trying and you were unsuccessful, I certainly hope we'll see you back in 2 years to give it another go. Because,
Absolutely. And
this was great for me anyway to see that very few people were walking into their seats this year. Everyone had a race, everyone had a challenge, everyone had to step up and do the right thing. But now that the election's over, there's another one coming up in 2 years. And
Right.
if you want to be part of that one and you want to be successful, you've got 2 years of doing the right thing ahead of you. So let's take that challenge that was given to us by the younger crowd and use that as our staff moving forward, if you would.
Town meeting races and any other race aside, there are ways to stay involved. I mean, I lost a couple of years ago myself for town meeting, and I've still tried to make every town meeting that I can, and
Yes.
in some cases, I've spoken as if I was, not as if I was a town meeting member, but if there's an issue or an article before you guys that is important to me, I'll get up because I'm a citizen. You know, that's part of it, and whether you voted for any of these people or not, everybody on the ballot was happy for Saugus, and they want to see the town prosper. They want to see success. I would encourage any and all of those people to still attend any meetings they can make it to, town meeting, housing authority, board of selectmen, school committee. Make your voice heard. Speak when there's an issue you care about. And as I said at the top of this show, there are always vacancies on other boards. They're posted on the town website. I mean, with Mr. Doherty's son being elected to the school committee, he will have to vacate his seat on
Finance committee, so
Finance
I'll be looking to fill that
with
also.
Mr. Federico being elected to the school to the board of selectmen. He will have to vacate his seat on the board of appeals. I believe it's appeals. Could be planning. I can't remember. I think it's appeals. So, you know, send your resume in. Express interest, write a letter to the respective board, or in the case of finance, I believe it's to you, Mr. Moderator.
Yes.
You know, in order to see a candidate win, you have to see a candidate lose, and none of us like that, but it's how it goes. So stay involved, be active, befriend your new town meeting members, let them know what you're thinking. I mean, we had this conversation 2 years ago when there was a charter change in the air. All the issues that were discussed with that election can happen through a charter committee, a review committee, or through an individual article at town meeting. If there's something you want to see changed about the charter or about something else in this town, talk to your town meeting members, write an article, speak to the school committee about what you want to see change about the district. That's what they're there for, you know?
And you know what? Talk to your friends. Something I'm a little disheartened by, I'm looking, the highest vote total here is the vote total for the Board of Selectmen, which across 10 precincts totaled out to 14,738 votes. For a town the size of Saugus, with the number of residents we have, the number of registered voters we have, that's not a great turnout. We got to work better to get people out to the polls. It's one thing to ask, you know, if you vote, vote for me, but it's another thing to get people out and actually make it to the polls and make the vote and get involved. I don't know how we do that, but as a town, I think we can do better. Looking at the precincts, the lowest precinct is actually, and I think this has been the case in the past too.
Is it 4 again, Mr. Moderator?
Precinct 4.
There we go.
With just 806 votes for a town meeting.
Now, for the benefit of the public, because I have been asked this question, and I don't know the answer, Mr. Moderator, do these results include the early voting ballots?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
I'm told by the town clerk that those numbers were already rolled in.
They're sent to the precincts and counted.
Yes.
And that's what I thought the answer was.
Those were rolled in ahead of time. This doesn't count, of course, write-ins.
Yes,
So
because those have to be counted manually, but I wasn't looking very closely at the results. I would be surprised if we had a write-in candidate win.
Yeah, well, in the Board of Selectmen, if
Right.
someone managed to get 1,547 write-in votes, they might step up there, but again, I don't see that happening. All right. I don't see anyone in the crowd here who's interested in stepping up.
I'm gonna put
to
out.
speak with us. So.
I'm gonna put out one final message, and we'll probably hang out here for another few minutes.
Yeah.
If there are any candidates watching this that want to come down and say thank you, please join us. I think There is certain, it's hard, right? And I've spent most of the afternoon at the polls holding a sign for my mother. Sometimes you can feel change in the air. Sometimes you know one way or the other how it's going to go, or you got a suspicion. You know, every year you and I make predictions that are wrong. I'm not going to share what those predictions were, but every year we get something.
Yep.
You know, but like you said, Mr. Moderator, there is an era of some element of change. I mean, Frank Federico is a younger man. He's been a town meeting member. He's on the Board of Appeals. Now he'll sit on the Board of Selectmen. You know, then you've got veterans like Mike Serino and Deborah Panetta and Anthony Cogliano and Jeff Ciccolini that have, some of them have, actually I think all of them have been on north of 10 years, whether consecutively or not. I think Deb first got elected in 2011, and she's been on ever since, most of that time as chairman. You know, Mr. Ciccolini got involved during the recall, and he's been on ever since. But then, you know, you got to consider the Saugus element to this, Mr. Moderator. I mean, the Serino name goes back a long time. I know Jeff's mother was a town meeting member for a while. She's been involved in she was involved in other stuff. And that's sort of how it goes, right? That's one of the things I like about Saugus, is it's what can sometimes be mistaken as nepotism, or I don't know if I want to use that word, is really legacy.
Yeah.
Right? You know, there are always people whose parents sat on town meeting, or this one and this one went to school together, you know, how many years ago. There's always that kind of stuff. And when you see those people getting involved, a lot of them end up working for the town, not because it's convenient or whatever, because they love this town, right? And they want to see it better. I mean, I'll give an example just because she's watching right now. My mother is employed by the Saugus cable station. She just likes the work. There's no particular reason, and you know why I bring all this up, is just I like to highlight hardworking individuals. I like to highlight people that are dedicated to this town. I mean, even if we look at the town meeting list, right? Just right in front of me, Carla Scazzarella, who helped us get the results from Precinct 10, she was formerly on the school committee a long time ago. She's the principal at Saugus High, right?
Yep.
Elizabeth Marchese in Precinct 6 was previously on the school committee. You know, you get a lot of that. My mother sits on the Housing Authority. I mean, even think about it like this. Your son that just got elected to school committee was previously on FinCom. And to any of, I guess he technically still is on FinCom. I'm not sure how that works. Does he vacate immediately?
Yes.
It does, so it's already taken effect. Well,
Yep.
once the votes are stamped.
Yep.
What I'm saying is that we're all sachems. There is always opportunity to see Saugus grow. Maybe some people elected share different views than mine, or Steve's, or yours. But we have a responsibility to listen to them. We have a responsibility to make sure their voices are heard by the people that wanted to hear them, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And I look forward to May when we hold a new election for moderator. Personally, I hope it's you. But democracy is democracy, Steve, and I know you'll agree with
We'll see what happens, yes. I would like to just, if I could, I want to thank a couple of people, Ashley Nichols, Holly Garrity, my lovely wife Teresa, Joey DiFilippo, and my sister Tricia Collins, for standing guard at the various polling places today to take these pictures and text them into us so we could get the results to you as quickly as possible. And I know you have some people who helped you out with that also.
I'd like to thank, from Precinct 6 and 2, Mr. Robert Camuso, Rich Thompson, Stephanie Shalkowski, Carla Scazzarella, Phil Gill, and from 3 and 5, Miss Lee Giroux. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out.
And again, a huge shout out to everybody out there who came up short on the vote counts today, but for putting yourself out there, for taking a shot, for running. I didn't see any slanderous stuff going on. Everyone ran a clean,
Right.
strong campaign.
Sometimes Facebook gets a little Facebooky, but
Yep. No, I mean everybody was professional, and hopefully, if you didn't make it in this round, we'll see you back in 2 years.
Right.
because the town needs you, and don't give up. I see some of the people who've been on town meeting for a long time, and you're right, it wasn't necessarily consecutive, because they were around for a few years, then they got knocked out by someone, then they came back, and they were around for a few more years.
You know, we've also seen cases, and we didn't point them out today, but there were a couple of long-term town meeting members that decided not to run again.
Yes.
I can think of two off the top of my head. From Precinct 2, my dear friend, Ms. Christine Mareshi.
Yep.
And from Precinct 5, I believe, Mr. Bill Brown.
Bill Brown, yep.
You know, but in their place, we get two new members with new ideas that maybe can add something different.
To those who did make the cut on the town meeting side, I look forward to working with you guys. I haven't seen anything from the Board of Selectmen to indicate that there's a special meeting on the horizon, so it's possible that our first meeting will be our annual meeting in May.
First week of May?
First Monday in May. But you know what, we'll be getting together before then, just to have kind of an orientation and go over some of the rules of the road with you guys, especially the new members. And I'll send you out information on that. I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to working with you. And to everybody who made the cut on any of the races, pop that champagne tonight. Enjoy yourself. You earned it.
I'm also going to say to the new town meeting members, you know, who was once a challenger in an election half an hour ago is now your colleague. Reach out to them. Talk to them. Have coffee with them. It doesn't have to do with the town meeting race. Just sit. Bits and bites. You know, Hammersmith, Irontown, pick a spot and just get to know these people, because you'll be sitting with them for the next 2 years. You know, figure out where the sensitive spots in your precinct are, what people are talking, what's going on, and lend your perspective to that before you get to town meeting. Maybe they can give you some of the rules of the road that the moderator will share via email and through a little bit of the training that they do, but now you have the responsibility. The campaign's over. Right? And doing the job and campaigning for the job are completely different.
Exactly. Who do we have just walked in and joined us? You want to come up?
Joining us and topping the ticket from, let me make sure I get the precinct right, from Precinct 1, Mr. Mark Bell. I imagine he's here because he lives around the corner.
I was going to say, I'm the...
Right up to the mic.
What?
Right up to the mic.
Yes, that's okay?
Yep.
All right, good. I was going to say I'm the closest one who basically lives around here, so yep, I figured I would just, you know, like, I would head down and help you guys out.
Mark, congratulations.
I was going to say congratulations to you, too.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. So, thank you. No, I just want to come down really quick and just thank everybody from Precinct 1 who voted, and also for all the Saugus residents that also came out and voted as well. Kind of like the moderators had said, we had a lot of people running this time around, which is fantastic to see. I remember back in 2021, I actually got on town meeting because no one else was running. I think there was only 5 people running in Precinct 1. So it was good to see. I believe we only had, was it 2 precincts where I think it was just the 5 people running?
Yeah, and this, you know, this race, as Steve mentioned, there have been a lot of young blood. There's been a lot of, I believe concerned parents, I don't know them all, that have all not entered as a group, but they're all sort of decided they want to give a town meeting a shot.
Right, yeah, and so that was a great thing to see. I mean, I think there was a lot of young people running this time around, and I mean, just being on town meeting since 2021, I mean, it was good to see, you know, so many young people running, and just not really so much, so many young people running, but just so many people overall, because we've had so many years where there have been some precincts where we have just pretty much everybody elected because no one else is running. So
right.
It was good to see. I believe, like you said, we only had 2 precincts.
2 precincts
Yeah.
that were unopposed, right? Precinct
Right.
2 and Precinct 8.
Yeah, so that was good to see. But I just wanted to come down and say thank you to the people of Precinct 1 for voting for me as well. And like you guys said, I figured I was in the area, so figured I would come down and say hi. So
We appreciate it. It gets lonely here. You guys can't see the giant, screaming crowd. It's like Madison Square Garden in here. If Madison Square Garden was made up by the singular reporter from the Lynn Item. Hi, Elizabeth.
Oh, okay, no, but yep, I also wanted to say too that you guys obviously do a very good job here each time. So thank you very much for your help and for the people that do put in the work, just running their campaigns. I mean, once it comes to election night, you two guys are the most popular individuals in Saugus. So, no. So I just wanted to come down and say a quick hello and thank you, and I just wanted to thank you guys as well. So,
Thank you, Mark.
And I guess on that note, it's 9:05. Once again, these are the tentative results. It looks like, you want to go through town meeting, I want to go through school committee and board of selectmen one more time?
Sure, we can do that. I'd just quickly like to thank the voters from Precinct 4 for giving me your confidence for another 2 years, and I promise not to let you down.
And I'm glad they did.
But on school committee, again, we have topping the ticket, Tom Whitridge with 2,219 votes, followed by Stephanie Mastrocola with 2,056. Brian Doherty with 1,799. Shannon McCarthy with 1,654, and then Joseph Gould with 1,348. Not making the cut in this round were Arthur Grabowski, Roberto Brzezzi, and Andrew Finn. In the Board of Selectmen, we have topping the ticket Deborah Panetta with 2,155 votes, Anthony Cogliano with 2,100. Coming up second, Jeff Ciccolini with 2,036 in the third slot. Then we have 1,916 for Frank Federico, a newcomer. Well, not a newcomer to politics. He's been on town meeting, but a newcomer to the Board of Selectmen. And 1,546 for Mike Serino. Coming up just short, Stacy Herman Durant with 1,423, Jennifer Dion with 1,391, Vincent Serino with 1,313, and Sandro Penzini Souza with 858. Congratulations to John Chaporis for winning the seat on the Housing Authority with 1,366 votes over Christy Taligan and Darlene Leroux with 1,071 and 650 respectively. And that's it. Those are the final results. For anyone like myself, I just found this out from a text, who's a transplant to Saugus, in my case from Everett. I moved up here in 2009. Big upset tonight in that race with Mayor Carlo Di Maria getting unseated by...
Did he really?
Unseated
I didn't
by
see that one
Robert
coming.
Van Kampen. Robert's not new. He's run for that seat before. But this time he was successful, I'm told.
Well, I guess I'll take us out here, Mr. Moderator.
Please do.
First and foremost, as always, I want to thank everybody at Saugus TV that made this happen. You guys can't see them, but they're in the back right now. Clark and John, who usually film Board of Selectmen meetings and the school committee meetings and such, they've been helping us in the back room. There's a closet we keep them in, behind the curtains. I want to thank all of the poll workers that, not just the people that campaigned, but the people that worked the polls today, the wardens and the staff that helped out at each precinct. Those people are volunteers. I've done it myself.
Yeah.
And lastly, as we should, because she's a godsend, downstairs right now, going crazy. I'm surprised we can't feel the floor shaking, Mr. Moderator. Is Ellen Clerk and her Ellen Shenna, the town clerk, and her team, who will be up all night making sure these results are correct. And that's what she always does. This is like her Christmas, Santa Claus. This is delivery night for her.
Yep.
Go ahead.
No. Again, he mentioned it, but a big shout out to the people that were standing out there earlier this afternoon holding a giant cardboard sail in their hand, trying not to get knocked over
That's
in
right.
that wind.
It was very windy and very cold today.
If you were a campaign worker today, a lot of credit to you, and thank you for your participation.
Well, on that note, Mr. Moderator, I want to congratulate you on your reelection once again, and that of your sons. And because she'd kill me, my mother once again, Maureen, for her reelection in Precinct 4. That about does it for election night 2025 Saugus. These results will be posted officially by the town clerk's office tomorrow morning. Once again, any of you that lost, please consider keeping around. Throw your name in for a different seat. Keep an eye on the town website. Thank you all for being sachems. Thank everybody for running because they care, because they love this town, because they want to see it prosper. And hopefully in 2 years, we'll be sitting here again, Mr. Moderator.
Sounds like a plan.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, guys.